Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Stargirl. So this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 4 for this season, otherwise entitled Wildcat. But yeah, here's the trailer. Let's watch it.
Don't you get it? I don't want anything to do with you.
I got a costume for you too.
It smells like gym class.
Shut up! You're such a natural at this.
So yeah, just to let you know, we're going to be doing trailer breakdowns from now on. I didn't do one for episode 2 or 3 because I, saw them beforehand with the press screeners, so it would have been like a bit disingenuous of me to do trailer breakdowns for them because I knew what happened in the episodes, and a bit of this is like sort of like guessing and theorizing what could happen based off what we see in the trailer. So it would have been disingenuous. Didn't want to play you guys for fools. So yeah, we're going from here to the end of the season. Can't wait to do them. But yeah, last episode was the big bang, here we go, stuff got real, because we had Icicle come into town, and well, he came in with a bit of a heart as cold as ice, I guess you could say. He definitely made a statement, as we saw Joey Zarek get killed, but also William Zarek, aka the Wizard, be killed as well by Icicle, both by Icicle. He'd got the old father-son combo, if you want to call it. Might be a bad way to put it, but that's exactly what happened. And Corny feels responsible for it. Like, it was Icicle. It's Icicle's fault. He killed Joey, but Corny feels responsible because it could have could have stopped it, but unfortunately it just didn't happen. So that's going to be on Corny's mind. And that led into the end of the episode where we see Corny, I guess you could say, rob the JSA headquarters and take a few materials. Not all of them, but definitely a few that we're going to see get used throughout this season. But before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis for the episodes. It does give us a bit more context as to what's going on, but throughout the video it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. It's greatly appreciated if you can do that during this time, and if you're enjoying the Stargirl videos. And of course, let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode, and if you have any theories and stuff like that, let me know all that in the comment section down below as well. After realizing that she needs the extra help, Courtney sets out to recruit new members to the Justice Society of America, starting with Yolanda. Elsewhere, Pat's suspicion is piqued after a bizarre conversation with one of the town's residents. So yeah, that synopsis is interesting, but jumping into the trailer, we start off with Yolanda in the school gym doing some boxing. And I must say, the form was pretty good, so I'd assume this is what Yolanda might do to relieve stress with what's going on at school. It makes sense. Maybe imagine certain people's faces on the punching bag. So talking about you, Cindy, stuff like that. Maybe your face is on there and Yolanda's just bashing the hell out of it. But it could be the boxing that makes Courtney target her. I don't know if she'd necessarily follow Yolanda, or maybe she just comes across the gym and sees her in there. But it could be this boxing and seeing how good Yolanda is at it that makes Courtney target her to be the new Wildcat after learning about Ted Grant being the heavyweight champion and stuff like that in the previous episode. I was wondering why they focused on Ted Grant and specifically said that, and I think now it makes complete sense why they did that, because now Courtney sees Yolanda boxing, 1 and 1 together makes 2, so Yolanda's going to be the new Wildcat. But you can see that Yolanda pretty much wants nothing to do with Courtney. It's like, just go away. Just leave me alone, please. Now, in the comics, Ted Grant is actually Yolanda's godfather. I could see them probably doing the same here. Maybe this is why she does the boxing. I wouldn't say, not saying that Ted Grant taught her, but maybe she knew about, him being this champion boxer and everything like that, and it inspires her to do it. Or maybe her dad tells her about it. Maybe she gets old gear from him or something. They could change it. You don't really get much from the trailer in regards to it, but I'll have to wait and see what happens in the episode. Now, in the comics, Yolanda does develop superpowers, but this is like after her mother is experimented on, while she's pregnant with Yolanda. Now, they might keep that in the show, but I could see them not going with that because it involves just a lot of backstory, and I can just see them skipping over that. But we do see that the Wildcat suit actually changes, so it's actually got some tech in it, so it actually changes to fit Yolanda, so we can see it and the helmet as like the design of the original Wildcat suit that Ted Grant would have worn. But when Yolanda puts it on, it's all like baggy and stuff, and she even says it smells pretty bad. I think she said it smells like the gym or something like that. But then it tightens to fit Yolanda's body and everything like that, and even the helmet changes. Now, the suit might also give her abilities like she has in the comics. I'd say that's probably the more likely thing than her having these powers passed down from her mother being experimented on and stuff like that. But like with a lot of stuff that you don't really get explained in the trailer, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But if I had to make a guess, I'd probably say the suit gives her the powers. Now, Courtney is dressed as Stargirl when she does give Yolanda the suit in Yolanda's room, I think it is.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
But I would probably guess this is done to convince Yolanda to trust her or something along those lines, because Yolanda's probably like, look, I don't even... You're crazy, just leave me alone. And then she shows up as Stargirl, maybe with the cosmic stuff, and then that makes Yolanda go, okay, tell me more, please, Courtney. Now just back to the Wildcat suit for a minute and giving her abilities. You can see when she like lands on this like field of grass, if you want to call it, it sends out like a sort of like pulse energy or something along those lines. If I had to make a comparison, it's almost like Black Panther in a sense. Not exactly the same, but that's probably a good reference to give, visually at least. Like even when the suit tightens, so it gives like a purple sort of shimmer, but I think it works better color wise. And you do get to see her long claws come out as well, which I wouldn't want to mess with her. Those look like they would hurt if they got near you. Now, I did like the scaling of the walls with them as well. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's going to look cool in the episode as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing all that. Now, I'm not 100% sure where this is in regards to her scaling the wall, but I think it might be the hospital, Blue Valley Hospital. That it looks to be made of bricks, and in the previous episodes, the hospital looks to be made of bricks, so maybe they are looking to investigate brainwave or something like that. It'll be interesting to see what Courtney's going for and like why they're doing here. Maybe they're just casually training here, but is the hospital the best place to train and test Yolanda's powers? So maybe they are drawn here, they learn something throughout the episode. Maybe in Pat's like JSA trunk, she gets more info from there. Or maybe Pat learns something and Courtney learns about it and then goes off with Yolanda. We'll have to wait and see. But there is something else later in this video that we'll bring up that suggests they are at the hospital during this scene as well. You're such a natural at this. Now this is Courtney saying this to Yolanda. Now, it's good to see the two get along. It didn't seem like that was ever going to happen due to Yolanda really not wanting to do anything or have anything to do with Courtney in the early episodes. And I guess we would dive into the reason why Yolanda is a loner. Just keeps to herself. We have seen her like not being called a slut, but having her like written on her locker and stuff like that, and at least people insinuating, calling her a slut and everything like that. You would assume we would dive into maybe not flashbacks. I would prefer that because I love a good old flashback, but at the very least we would get an explanation for her as to what happened with, whether it was like a year ago or whenever it was that led up to this moment, even just her childhood and why it might have led to that point as well. So I'd assume we'd get that. I'd love to get some flashbacks, but even if she just explains it, that's good enough. Now, there are a bunch of promo images to go over from this episode as well, and I thought I'd include them. I might do this weekly. If you enjoy going over the promo images as well, let me know. If not, we'll just do the trailer, but for this time at least, we'll go over the promo images as well. So the first one is Stephen Sharp, aka The Gambler, in, is it Jordan's office? I think it might be Jordan Market. It might be his home. Not too sure. I can't really tell. It looks like it might be his home, but he's just there chilling. Is it his office? I'm not sure if it's at his home or his office. It's one of the two. But when we go down, this is when we go back into the Injustice Society base. So we have Icicle here, or Jordan Marquand. I do love that he wears this blue suit with like the white because it's like icicle. So I think it's like, like snowflakes. I think that's fairly cool. Another shot of him here at the the round table. But the next shot is you're going to show us this in the promo images, are you? And that's our first look at Dragon King. I won't spoil too much about this. This is a very detailed promo image, so you can actually see under the mask and what's going on. They might be like, what the hell is that? Well, I hope we might get some hints to it in this episode, but Icicle sort of looks maybe concerned about him. So that's actually interesting if you base it off last episode where Icicle just looks like he's the Mac Daddy of it all. But he looks like he might be concerned about Dragon King as well. Like if you look at Dragon King's getup, he's got blood and scissors and everything going on like that. He looks very threatening, so Icicle's probably a bit scared of him. So I know I'm intrigued to see what their dynamic might be in this episode. I think we'll only get like a small tease in him, maybe like a scene or two. I don't think we get too much. But I'm just interested to see how he plays into the season, because a lot of people are like, hey, Icicle's the big bad, but then hey, big old Dragon King comes in and goes, move aside, Icicle, I'll melt you. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. There's just a couple of pictures of the Dugan and Whitmore family. So we have Mike here with some Pop-Tarts in the background. Corny's here eating cereal and that. You might be like, why are you focusing on this? She's actually wearing this shirt that says Half Day, which is from the comics. I'll put the comparison up, so it's straight from the comics, the design. I think that's just awesome. When I saw it, I was like, that looks familiar. And I was like, it's because it's from the freaking comics. So that's just cool. So yeah. Same shirt. Well, Jeff Johns is making it, so I'm no surprise that he's put that in here, but just very cool. Now, as I said before, like Pat might accidentally relay some information to Corny, which sends her on her way. I think it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic now because of what happened last episode, where Pat's even more protective of Corny, because Courtney might be even more ambitious to go out there and get revenge, or at least get justice, if you want to call it. I don't know. The dynamic might be interesting there. I hope Pat doesn't die. That's a lot. People have been theorizing that. I really hope that doesn't happen. And then we just got a picture of Courtney and her mother. You know, that's nice. Just chilling on the bed, eating, and is that fried chicken? That looks actually decent. Looks fried chicken, and she's doing some reading. Getting hungry. But this is the so in the synopsis it talks about like Pat having like a bizarre encounter with a Blue Valley resident. I wonder if it is William Zarek's wife, who I think is Denise Zarek. I wonder if it's her that, because obviously she's lost her husband and her son. So I wonder if this is what happens here. Maybe she leads on to some Injustice Society stuff and maybe gives Pat info. That wouldn't surprise me too much if that's the case, because she's pretty much lost everything now, and if, you know, she knew some stuff, you know, she could relay it off to Pat. So maybe we could see her be like a bit of an informant to Pat for this episode at least, but she might have to watch it back because she might get herself in some danger. But this is where we get some really cool stuff. These are the final few promo images. So we see Wildcat out with Stargirl. As you can see, you've got the bricks in the background as well. As I said, it looks like it might be the hospital. There's even a shot. This is probably the best look at Yolanda's suit here, like the front on, where you see like the really cool design of the suit. It almost looks like fur on the arms, or like long fur and various things like that. So that's probably the best look at it, and I love this suit. Like the helmet, I know you can criticize the helmet, but I think a helmet is a really hard thing to do to make it comfortable at least. So I think it's fairly good, you know, to try and make it comfortable and practical at the same time. But this is the last thing, which I think pretty much confirms it's at the hospital. So we see Beth Chappell here, who looks like she's gone to her parents' like her mum's office to eat dinner. That's what it looks like at least. But on her left, there's an ambulance there, and she's looking up. So I think she's actually seeing Wildcat or Yolanda climbing up the building, and maybe even Courtney on her cosmic staff as well. So they probably think no one's here, and then randomly Beth's come out the back or something like that and seen them both. And the next episode is actually called Our Man and Dr. Midnight, and Beth obviously becomes Dr. Midnight. So maybe they notice her and then something happens there and it leads into her becoming Dr. Midnight. It'll be interesting, but I think she catches at least Yolanda in the act climbing that wall, but she probably wouldn't know it's Yolanda at least, but she sees Wildcat. It's like, oh, superheroes, they're back. But yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to this episode because we're starting this like building and foundation of the new JSA. I'm just excited to see the members roll in and see them all team together to take on the Injustice Society. Cannot wait for the, you know, I guess like the next handful of episodes to, you know, see that all come together and build up. But thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what you saw in this trailer breakdown, the promo images. What you're looking forward to the most, let me know in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.